Good evening, everyone. I sincerely hope you can hear me. It's been a while since since I've been in the chair, so hopefully not too rusty. But if there's any problems with the image or with the sound, then as usual, please let me know. Evening, Paul. Good to be back. Indeed, good to be back. Nice to hear from you again. Hello, Ian. And commiserations to all the England fans out there for the inability to beat the relatively small northern northern European nation. I was busy, so I didn't watch the game myself, but I hear that we did spectacularly well to prevent you from demolishing us. Good goal for us. Good goal for us, by the way. I saw that. I managed to catch that. Yeah, the less said about that, the better, probably from an England fan perspective. I think we're guys are still in it, and obviously the only way is up from here. I can see a couple of people have already joined the chat. Ian, Paul, and Mike. Hopefully, other people will turn up as well. Appreciate that. It's maybe not the ideal evening, just after an England game. Most people probably still in the pub, which is fair. Hello, Alex. Um, and uh, and I guess I can't really blame anyone. But that's how the schedule is at the moment that I was able to get a stream in tonight. Hopefully, starting to be a little bit more regular from now on with all the stuff that's been going on at the SLHQ. England really weren't good, were they? Well, I'll have to take your word for it, but I expected us. I expected Denmark to lose. I'll be honest, but no, nah, never mind. I rushed back home to watch this. Uh, this thing still works. Indeed, lackluster at best. Yeah, you need Calvin Phillips in there apparently to get some energy back in. But let's see if we can have a little bit more action in the Super League tonight. Appreciate, as mentioned, there are probably a few folk that weren't able to join or that that will be joining later or something like that. We're just gonna have to go through it, and I'll try and get better scheduling in the not too distant. Um, put it a little bit on a little bit later for you guys, and maybe also get hosts back on. I know that Dimple has volunteered, and a few other people have mentioned that they would be interested in doing co-coms as well. So hopefully we can get it back on track. But for now, let's get the Super League back going, and we'll see how we go this evening. If anyone wants to be on sooner rather than later, then feel free to pop a note in the chat. If not, then we are just gonna go with what the game throws at us. So if we click continue here, we have got some European Championship things apparently. Paul is here, so that's good. I haven't seen Ross, but hello, Dan. Nice to see you. But looks like we're kicking off with Stackington against the Vikings. Um, remind ourselves quickly. Stackington's last game, 0-0 draw with Stanley. Buffon with an 8, and yeah, overall a decent performance. But Stanley obviously 12th in the table, still looking for some points. Alf is there. Good morning, Alf, or good whatever it is if you've just woken up. They do go with the donut formation and the Anglo-Saxons is what Ross has picked for this evening for the game against the Vikings. So we'll see how that pans out for them. Some good names in there, of course. Buffon with that man of the match. Still hoping to get something out of Kellstrom and Saviola. Gravison is on the bench. Overall, a strong looking side from Stackington, and maybe more than a 12th position in there. Buffon automatically selected as captain. I don't think the manager will take offense to that. Meanwhile, at the Vikings, just a friendly reminder, the last time they played, it was a 3-3 draw with East Coast. Simeone picked up a yellow card, which I think maybe was his first game or one of his first games for the club. Uh, or was it? Oh, he's been there a while. Shows how much attention I've been paying. Anyway, I think his debut didn't go much better either, but a 5 there for Simeone. But overall, a decent performance from them, coming back to have that 3-3 draw. Hersey with the equalizer. So this is how they line up: Hersey, Aymar, Simeone, keeping faith in the guys here, and we'll see how Vikings fare this evening up against Stackington. Coming through speed, we will start on very fast, of course. Vikings kicking off, Stackington in their lovely yellow and blue kit tonight as we go into this. A lot of stuff happening in the first couple of minutes, and then nothing happening, and we skipped to 15 indeed. But it has been pretty much going in Vikings direction. Kelstrom and Saviola trying something there, but nothing came of it. Here's Aymar going forward, and we skipped to 40 minutes as well. It's been a bit of a tough one to pick chances out of this one. Let's have a quick look and see. Oh dear, oh dear, not one for the neutrals. In line with the hello, Steve. Evening. In line with the with the Scotland Switzerland game, perhaps, but just without the goals. I'm not sure how terrible that sounds. Pretty terrible, I guess. Ross is here. Sorry, Ross, I missed you. Stackington stats at halftime. Kjellstrom is the disappointment on a 5. There are no fitness concerns, but he is the lowest rated. Of course, we have got Elba on the bench as an attacking option for Stackington. Paul goes as is without having seen anything already. Ross does the same. Yepes is on a yellow card. Cafu's on a yellow as well. No fitness concerns, so we'll run to 60 if neither manager has anything else to add. And we'll try and see if we can stop it on 60. It was skipping a bit in the first half. Oh, that could be trouble. Agahawa survives on a yellow after the poorly timed 2-footed challenge. That was definitely a stroke of luck for Stackington there. Just put the speed back up again. Um, Chances are being created. Here is Vikings coming forward just on the hour mark. We'll see if they can do something. Buffon with an excellent save. Jeremies is on a 6. Aymar is on a 6. Everyone else is doing okay condition-wise. Some concerns of use of Hersey. He's down to 76% with 30 minutes to play. Estebaria, an obvious choice in terms of the substitutions. If Paul is looking to do something there, or of course we can just run. Back to the ratings, 7 and 8s, 6 for Aymar and Jeremies. While you ponder, Paul, I'll have a quick look over on the other side. It's gone a bit better for everyone else, apart from Kim Kjellstrom, who's still on a 5. Elba, as mentioned, the obvious replacement in there. Everyone else seems to be doing okay. We're looking at the condition. There are no concerns for anyone. It's the Berea for Aymar. That's it for Vikings, so we will do that. Keeping the faith in Hersey. Brave man. And his fitness. We move to Stackington and see if Ross wants to make any changes. How very lucky to only pick up a yellow there. It was a poorly timed 2-footed challenge apparently. And Captain Buffon doing relatively well in the goal. I think he's had 1 or 2 good saves. Rinaldi, I think, is the out of league signing. If anyone is wondering, I think he came in earlier this season for Stackington and done relatively well for them. Saviola, of course. Some people get goals out of him and some don't. Seems to be a little bit random. Elba for Kim Kjellstrom. We will do that. Elba up top with Saviola on the left side. 3 AMCs to be Del Piero, Rivaldo, and Agahawa. Going very attacking here, Stackington, looking for a finish. Ross, would you like arrows on any of your AMCs? Please let me know. Otherwise, I will just run with this. Interesting to see a manager really going for it here, especially away from home. Brave move by Ross. Remove all arrows, please, and that's us. Excellent. Let's have a look and see in the last half hour if Stackington can find a way through with that new attacking formation. Yellow card for Elba. Oh, they couldn't. It's Hersey who was left on despite the fitness concerns, who opens up the scoring for Vikings. 13 minutes left to play. We'll probably slow it down a little bit, see if Stackington can find a way back into this. But it's still Vikings coming forward. Indirect free kick given. It is Cafu. But nothing comes of it. Agahawa moves up the field. Del Piero is there. Saviola is there. Quick return pass, and here is Elba. Saviola with a shot, but it's wide, unfortunately, for Stackington. Here come Vikings down the other end. That Kur intercepts it, but it falls to Soroczynski. Sliding tackle, and that's his second card for Agahawa. We go to the substitute screen. Ross, if you would like to do anything at this point, I will just centralize them. If you want to do something else, then please let me know. Bad luck there. Agaha has already been sort of tempting fate a little bit with his tackling earlier on in the game. Um, and Ross says that's fine, so we'll roll with that. Let's see. Uh, Looking unlikely to find a way back into it now. Down to 10 men. There's a header from Thierry Henry, but Buffon with a good save. Here comes Bauma, moving forward again. Buffon smothers the ball. He's been absolute wall for Stackington. Unfortunately, he couldn't do anything about Hersey's goal, but we will see if that's going to be the only one of the game. Here comes Hersey again. Estebaria with the parry, and it's the shot, and Buffon with the parry. Oh, but there is a follow up, and it's Jens Jeremies of all people. His first goal for the Vikings, that clinches it surely 2-0. Is there time for another one in added time? It looks like there could be a chance coming in the way of the Vikings, but Buffon parries it as again. Uh, what a shame for Stackington. Agahauer sent off just as they were hoping to get back into it and sucker punched by Jens Jeremies. Um, let's have a look. Yeah, that really went Vikings' way in the second half. Very, very brave decision of the manager to leave Hersey on low fitness, but it definitely paid off for them. Um, Remove all arrows. See you later, says Ian. Let's have a look. Buffon a 9. Doesn't even get man of the match. Very, very strong performance from him in the goal. Defensively, everyone did kind of okay, but let down by the attacking player. Saviola dropped to a 5 there as well. It's not going to be very popular with his manager. Down here, we've got Capu with an assist. Thierry Henry with an assist. Rio Ferdinand of all people. I didn't see that one coming, but of course they completely shut them out. So maybe that is logical there. Aima, who went off on a 6. Estebaria came on for an 8, so that seems like something that could be a permanent substitution. And Hayes, yes, we mentioned with the goal. Congratulations, Paul. Commiserations, Ross. An interesting first game. Quite enjoyable, if maybe not for everyone, but certainly the second half things picked up a fair bit. We move on with Dudley Hill against East Coast. I haven't seen Dimple around yet. Impressive Vikings performance indeed it was, Ian. Very, very solid from them. D is definitely here. And up against East Coast, let's remind ourselves what happened last time out. Dudley Hill with an impressive 2-0 win away to Exiles. Roberto Carlos, the man of the match. Luca Toni and David Collins on the score sheet. Dudley go unchanged. They haven't got any of their big names back from injury. Oh, here's Dimble. Hello. Just a quick reminder, in case we are obviously moving at a bloody snail's pace here, but in the game we've had like it's very short in between the games. So if you're wondering why your players aren't returning from injury, that's basically why. It's because reality and yeah, it's not really aligned. But as is for Dudley Hill, after that strong performance last time out, Perry Paredes, Alessandro, and Montero still injured out for a while. Uh, we move to East Coast Cosmos, and here we have a couple of changes, as I recall. Last match, indeed, there's Boya coming in there, and sorry, Boya going out, and there's Nakata coming in. And up front, we've got Constantino. Viduka still unhappy, he doesn't get a game. Ronaldinho is there. And I believe, am I right in saying that Mendes de Silva came in? Indeed, Mendes de Silva is another one who's come in. They had the 3-3 game against Vikings. We saw that already. They'll be hoping to concede less in this one for sure. Bartes in goal, Giuliano and Rustico, a solid defensive line there with Gattuso, Celis, and Kovalchuk in front of them. Should be good enough to keep the opposition at bay, you would think, but we'll see how it goes tonight. Both managers in attendance, so I think we can kick off straight away. And we start with Dudley Hill against East Coast for the second game of the evening. Early yellow card for Lassisi for Dudley Hill here. Roberto Carlos picks up a yellow. I don't think his manager can really afford missing a whole bunch of other players. And that's Nakata scored on his debut from that role in central midfield. Um, so the sole central midfielder. And before I get the words out, Dyer has had the equalizer for Dudley Hill there, coming down the right flank. Um, It's all moving backwards and forwards here, struggling to keep up a little bit in the commentary room. And it's Arjen Robin who finds the second for East Coast. A very entertaining first half here where I did lose track of it a tiny bit. Um, Neither goalkeeper will be too happy with that. Obviously, 3 shots on target, all 3 went in. Not ideal, not ideal at all. Um, Dimple says as is, so that's fair enough. He's got Rustico on a 6, Celius on a 6. Super fitness from the East Coast side. Everyone in the mid to high 90s, looking very, very strong. And I and Robin, the only one down a little bit. Needed now, says D. Yes, you need a little bit of luck to get back into this. John Terry of all people with the assist. You've got Leticia on a yellow. But plenty of fitness in your boys as well. So not sure if you want to do any changes. Dimple says as is. Steve, if you want to do anything, then please let me know. There's a bunch of sixes here. You have got people on the bench. Trezeguet amongst others coming in. Woodgate as well, potentially in central defense for Leticia if you're worried about a red card. But I'll wait for you to confirm. Volodenko for Roberto Carlos and Trezeguet for Tony. Volodenko for Roberto Carlos and Trezeguet for Luca Toni. That's all. Brave first the double substitution that I remember at halftime when it wasn't going that bad, but I guess being one goal down isn't the best. We'll see if that has a positive impact for Dudley Hill and if they'll find a way back into this as we kick off the second half. Old favorite of mine, Volodenko, can play across the line if I remember rightly. Hitman and goal doing relatively well. Still actually had a couple of saves here in the second half, which couldn't be said for the first half. There's a yellow card picked up there. Dimple, these are your numbers at the moment. Agat is down on a 6 and Rustico is on a 6. A couple of guys on a yellow as well and no fitness concerns. So Mendes de Silva, Vrede and Salas are your options on the bench. Meanwhile, over at Dudley Hill, Volodenko and Trezeguet, both on sevens. Nothing else has really changed. Condition-wise, everyone is doing just fine. Um, if there are any tactical changes or if you need any substitutions, please let me know. Meanwhile, we'll have a look at the passes completed and the heading. So East Coast, the better of the sides in the second half, as mentioned. At least Hedman has done a couple of saves. No changes for Dimble. Steve, I'll return to you and see if you want to do anything, um, moving players about or hoping for the best. No Calvin Phillips to be brought on to change the game. Just diagonal arrow to AMC from Mark van Bommel, and that's what we're going to do. And we move into the last half hour. Dudley Hill, East Coast. Dudley Hill looking for a way back into it. The first 10 minutes flew past with not a lot happening. Dudley Hill with a couple of chances here. The Bolodenko was coming forward. Dyer involved again. Eric Addo and Trezeguet involved again. We'll pop it down to a little bit slower here just to see what we can see in the last 10 minutes in terms of chances, if anything happens. Van Bommel straight offside, 3 minutes of added time. That's all we're waiting for now. But it seems as if East Coast are holding on. And indeed they do. Contrary to last time out, East Coast have managed to hold on to their lead and they have secured a 2-1 victory against Dudley Hill, who only managed the one shot on target, which did go in. But apart from that, not a lot of luck with the finishing. 4 shots, 3 on target for East Coast, doing slightly better there. We'll have a look at the Dudley stats first. John Terry on a 9. Kieran Dyer, man of the match, on an 8, surprisingly. David Collins only on a 6, but a couple of good substitutions. Sadly a little bit too late for them maybe coming on. Hindsight's always 2020. Volodenko, could he have done better than Roberto Carlos? Who knows? Over at East Coast, it wasn't a vintage display from them, but they did enough. And Ian Robin with the goal, Constantino with the assist for that one, and Ronaldinho picking up an assist as well. An important player for East Coast, of course. So well done to both sides. Congratulations to Dimple for that win for East Coast. And we move on to the next game of the evening, which is going to be the Sloths against the Exiles. Exiles, another team where we had a look earlier at their previous game. It was the Dudley Hill game. They lost 2-0 away, sorry, at home. And they face a tough challenge, and they're up against the Sloths here. A bit of a change of tactics for Neil and the boys. I think it's the first time I've seen him with this 5-man with long arrows, 5-man DMC line with the long arrows, solid front three. If you can get the rest of the guys working, it really should produce. And of course with with Chaos, Charlie Chaos in there. Amanatidis miraculously on an 8 average with many attributes below 10. Really a case for the intrinsics that he's doing so well in the Super League. But his manager will be very happy with that performance. This is sexy, says Steve. I mean, uh, I guess, whatever floats your boat. But it does look interesting. I like the long arrows. I agree. I agree. Over on the other side of the fence, we have Spartak sloths with another variation of the narrow. I'm not sure. I don't go into details of what might be changed. I don't look at it to be honest. But there are variations apparently, and this is what Alpha's come up with this week. I'm not sure if it's sexy, but it's definitely narrow. And week 7, it's done them okay. 7th spot for Spartak sloths with a not impossible Exiles game coming up. I think the manager will be fairly pleased with that. So here we go then. I saw that Alf was online earlier. I am not sure about Neil, but we kick this one off with Sloths taking on the Exiles. Kai and Kessman coming forward. Obviously, that front 3-4 for Sloths up against the defensive 5 of Exiles in that DM line is going to be an interesting matchup, an interesting battle to follow during the evening. It does look as if Sloths have had slightly the better of the chances. Shearer's had a good chance there, but there was Vieri with a chance as well. I think there was an early chance for one of the other Sloth strikers. Brooking, of course, is still recovering from an injury. And here is Keane opening the scoring for Sloths, his first ever goal for them. Exiles have, if not a mountain to climb, then at least a relatively large hill as they look to find a way back into this. A lot of action in this game compared to the previous one in terms of shots on target, in terms of chances created as we move towards half time. Can Sloths hang on to this? Indeed, they can. I always think it looks like, okay. I see. I see. Do you think it looks like that? That's, I don't know if that's strange or if it's, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. 8 shots on target, evenly distributed. 3 on target for Sloths, 3 for Exiles. Look at the performance from the Exiles players first. It's been frankly pretty poor. Cordoba picks up a yellow. Figo's on a yellow. Charlie Care's on a yellow as well. Not done a great deal in the first half, but could be more to come in the second. Alpha formations look like they contain about 8 players, but they are so effective. Indeed, you look at the screen and you go, "Where's the rest of them?" But they are fairly sort of compacted in the middle. But he's getting results out of it. I appreciate that Alf is sticking to this. With a win tonight, he's in 7th. With a win tonight, it's playoff. It's playoff for the Sloths. I know it's only game week 7, but it should be going in that direction. No fitness concerns at halftime. Alf, if you're still around, please confirm if you want to go as is or if you want to make any changes. As is, that's excellent. And I haven't seen Neil about, so we jump straight to 60 and see what's going to happen here in the first 15 of the second half. It's another chance to the Sloths, but Exiles pull one back. It's Christian Vieri who finds a goal from, I won't say out of nowhere, but pretty much. I didn't see that coming at all after that first half. Um, Alf, here's your 60-minute or 59-minute options. Rosicky and Alan Smith are on the bench. Keenan Mackay. At the EMC roles doing okay. Mackay's on a 6, apologies, but Robbie Keane on an 8. The rest of them struggling a tiny bit. In terms of condition, you're doing fine, so I will leave it up to you if you want to see Alan Smith or Thomas Rosicky in the last 30 minutes of this one. Just for reference, we'll have a look at Exile's tactics. Charlie K is up on a 9 now, so good for him. Vieri on an 8. I guess he was the one who got the assist. Indeed, he was. And let's have a quick look at the condition. Figo's down to 76%. If Neil was here, maybe he would pull him off. But Paul left Hersey on, so hopefully he'll be fine, as Hersey was. Smith for Shearer, Rosicky for Pep, Rosicky for Pep, and Smith for Shearer. Indeed. Um, with those changes, will the Sloths be able to find a way back into this? It will be interesting to see. Rosicky, the creativity there coming from the midfield. Maybe. Eleftheropoulos picks up the captain's armband as Shearer goes off, and we play the last 30 minutes of Sloths versus Exiles. It's Exiles the with a couple of chances, and there is Raul, puts them in front. Oh, Petit in the middle. Yes, it's a little bit. Apologies for that. I can do it now with only 3 minutes to go. Maybe it's a little bit late. Apologies for that. Once again, I'd appreciate the full sentences if you want to do any changes. That will just make it a little bit easier for me to get all of it uh, in the time allowed. So apologies for that. Let's see if we can find a equalizer here. It's Roy Mackay coming forward, but Exiles really played up in the second half, um, improved their performance. A fantastic save for Liverpool is keeping it at 2-1. Indeed, that was the final results. Commiserations to Alf, and apologies for the uh, lack of movement of Emmanuel Petit. We have got 7 shots on target for the Exiles and none for Sloth in the second half at all. 28 free kicks committed, 18 of them were offsides. Exile stats. A lot of the players obviously improved dramatically in the second half. There are 9s and 8s across the board. Figo finishes on 70% in terms of the fitness, and say Roberto down as well. Good shift put in by those two players. And over on the slot side, overall a solid performance. Who is not performing? Alan Smith didn't do a lot. Hessman also did not do a lot. Um, Taribo West picks up the man of the match performance. A bit surprising when the team concedes two, but overall not a huge amount of worry, I would say, but maybe a little bit difficult for the to immediately see where all those chances came from, giving those numbers for those players. Commiserations to Alf, congratulations to Neil when you eventually get to see this. We move on with Los Santos Kings against the Badgers. I haven't seen Jamie or Tato around this evening, so we will see if this will be a quick one. In terms of the last match, it was a win for Los Santos, a very welcome win for them against Fulchester, and the way that they managed to get 3 goals after having and actually securing a win after having a very difficult start to the season. Very impressive. Dida, of course, was subbed. He was on a 4. His manager clearly not impressed with that. Almost found a way back into it, Fulchester, but not quite. Oh, and Tato is here. Indeed, I did see you earlier on. So here are Los Santos, and here are your Booth's Town. Couple of changes. I think Rayat comes in on the right-hand side for Shimkoviak, who is out injured, and Pierre joins the club and joins the attacking lineup. Manager probably slightly fed up with his striker's inability to score goals, and we'll see if that changes tonight with his brand new attacking option. Pierre signed from Tenerife. Um, I think I hate this team at the moment, from what I can remember. Yes, indeed. Maybe it's been a while. So indeed. Um, let's see how it goes. I mean, any number requests, Liam? If you want any of your guys here with specific numbers, otherwise I will auto them. I take that as a happy with auto, I guess. Um, and we run with that. It's Los Santos against Badgers. First half coming up. 6-0 Badgers incoming, says Mike. Yeah. Well, maybe with Pierre getting a hat trick or two, who knows? So far, it's been fairly quiet in the first half in terms of goal scoring. Anyway, plenty of chances though. Plenty of black and blue, and to some extent grey flashing, and you just want Raya to play well. Well, you'll see if he plays well. So far, so good. None of them have done anything bad. I don't know if any of them have covered themselves in glory. There is one of them. I believe that was an assist for Pierre as he sets up Roberts to open the scoring for Badgers, 1-0. And can they take that lead into half time? They probably can. Certainly looks like it. Good chances, and indeed they extend the lead on 45 minutes. Badgers take a 2-0 lead into halftime after an impressive first half performance. Los Angeles with 3 shots, plenty of tackles. How did both team win 80% of tackle? Yeah, anyway, won't worry too much about it. Liam says assists till 60, and we'll just show the halftime stats just in case anyone interested. It's Rayad and Pierre with the assists. You can't really ask for more than that, can you? Fitness-wise, you're doing well. We'll have a quick look at Los Santos. Apologies, Los Santos here. Well, Maldini's doing well. Apart from that, it's so-so. Fitness-wise, everyone is very happy. We run till 60 and see if any changes come at that point for badges. How did he manage to miss that Diego Tristan? Well, you will never know. And there is Pierre scoring on his debut. What an out of league signing. That's what champion. That's the stuff that champions are made of. Nedved here pulls one back. He has been the by far the best player for Los Santos for the at the start of the season for sure. Let's have a quick look. Indeed, Rayad with the second assist and now Pierre with a goal. I mean, you can't argue with genius, can you? Well done, Tato. Um, any changes, or you're happy to see your uh, the super side run this till the end? Play on, yeah. Well, play on, play on. We will do that, and see if more goals are in this. Actually scoring, indeed, indeed, indeed. A brave decision by the manager. I wonder if there is a manager with plenty of talent at his disposal who could learn something from that. We will see against Slovenia or whatever it is next. Um, Last 20 minutes here, we're getting into, and it's still pretty much all badges, although Los Santos have had one or two chances. Diego Tristan has been looking as if he would like to find the back of the net. Badges probably should have scored there, and there they do the fourth of the evening. I think it was Ryan Giggs who was getting involved there. We'll run it at full speed because I don't think the result is in any doubt here. The question is, will Badges find a fifth? They were certainly closer than Los Angeles was to a second. So 6-0 badges incoming, Mike. You weren't far off. There were 5 goals in it, but only 4 for badges and 1 for Los Santos. I think Tato will be very pleased with that performance. And Hopkins, uh, back to the drawing board, I guess. I mean, he has got Pavel Nedved playing, but don't really think he's got any of the other ones. With 3 assists, what more can you ask for? Coming in for getting a chance, and uh, and yeah, I mean his first start, and I mean he's looking solid, passing, dribbling, pace. I mean it should be there, it should be there, and he has delivered for his manager. Over on the other side. Poor performance by Sauri, Ebisand as well, Biscan Kalushny, many players not doing particularly well. Pizarro with an 8 and an assist, Nedved as well. Um, yeah, excellent, excellent, excellent from Badgers, and a bit of a tough one for Los Santos. We move on. We have got Duggan and the Sancte boys. Not seen Duggan about. Don't know if that's due to not paying attention or because he's in the pub. And I saw Alex. I've not seen his chief commander. But if he is here, then I'm sure he'll make himself known. Otherwise, we'll see what happens. Foss Road Unicorns. Last match, 0-0 with Sloss. A bit of a challenging one with Sambrota going off. But yeah, they did well. They did well. Oh, he's here. Very good, very good, very good. They did well and held on for 0-0. So positive, positive. Roy Keane injured, which is less positive. But not too bad. He'll be back. He'll be back soon. Here are the tactics. Of course, not a huge amount of changes. I think it was El Guerra who came in as the substitution. I don't remember if there was another one, but he'll remind us if there was. Meanwhile, oh, Lilian Thuram will be selected and captain, and there are some set piece takers. Maybe for another time. Meanwhile, we have a look at Sancte. Last time out, defeat at Northern Burn. Um, it's been tough. It's been tough for Sancti. They made some really ambitious attacking moves, and they have got Totti in there. They have got back and Penza, Montella, big names. Scholes is there in central midfield. Duff and Dragatos on the wings. It kind of looks like it should work out, but they've just struggling to find that winning formula. But we'll see if it comes tonight. They have got a home game, so a chance. And of course, Foss Road were held to nil last time out against Sloth. So we'll see how it goes. Sancte takes on Foss Road. It's a good start for Foss Road. They had the most of it the first 10 minutes, but looks as if Sanchez is coming back into it. Um, and indeed, it's Arik back with his first goal of the season, potentially. I'm not sure if I remember that rightly, but certainly he opens the scoring for Sancte, and much to his manager's delight. Nick Matulin with a fine save for Foss Road, keeping it 1-0. And there's a couple more chances coming Sancte's way before half time, but now it's Foss Road pushing on. Long range effort, but it was not to be. Mike says, horrible side that, Tato. Well, that's throwing a lot of shade on the reigning champion, isn't it, Mike? Either way, Sancte has definitely been the better team in the first half. 5 shots on goal, 3 on target. Foss Road with just the 2. Let's have a look at the stats. A bunch of sixes. Cambiaso with an 8. He had a 9 and man of the match last time out. He's the pick of the bunch this evening as well. Everyone on good fitness. Here is your chance to make tactics. He remember, yeah, you remember when you were top of the league, indeed. Yeah, well, those days might still return. Crespo, after a superb start to the season, not really fired yet. As is. Very good. And I think Duggan is not here, so we'll run till 60 minutes and see how it goes. Crespo is throwing himself about. I think he was through on goal there as well, but failed to find the back of it. Meanwhile, there's a yellow card for Impensa, and there's Montella and Impensa combining to make it 2-0 for Sancte, and the Unicorns are struggling. Still a bunch of sixes for all of the attacking players. Elguero and Cambiaso, Hofland and Thuram doing very well. Everyone else doing pretty bad. Condition-wise, you have no worries, so it's tactical changes or substitutions. Get in Esteban. Yeah, well, it's not enough to have a defensive midfielder. Maybe you can swap him for Calvin Phillips, um, and get a. Well, I was going to say you can get a goal scoring striker in return, but I'm not sure who that would be. Long one incoming, right? Well, I'll brace myself then, shall I? Meanwhile, we can have a quick look at Sancte and see how they are performing. Scholes is on a yellow there and on a 6 if his manager was here. That might have been a substitution. Otherwise, everyone is doing relatively well. Lauerson's on a 6 on the yellow as well. There's definitely room for, I won't say improvement, but room for taking advantage of a couple of key players in precarious positions. But we'll see. We will see what the Foss Road management team decides to come up with. Meanwhile, is anyone paying attention to the Italy game? Spain-Italy game, rather. Should be about half time now. Or did they kick off the second half already? 0-0. 0-0. Up it now. What with Calvin Phillips? I just, I just think it's funny. You don't think it's funny? You don't think it's funny that you have Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden and Harry Kane and whoever else, and then your manager comes out and goes, I mean, if it's, nah, yeah, okay, I won't dwell too much more on the Calvin Phillips comment, but I did find it funny. I did find it funny. Yeah, I mean, it is, and England is still doing pretty well, I think. They're still in with a good chance. Gerrard off for Alex. Move Van der Vaart to central midfield next to Veron. And Alex to ML. Centralized. Well, centralize. 2-2-4. Aha, 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 aha. And like still arrows here, I guess. Arrow on Ortega too. Right. I guess this is it. I guess this is what you're looking for. If not, then I'm happy to take instructions. Or if you want more arrows, then please let me know. But we can say positive things about Denmark while we wait then. If anyone has anything positive to say, it's a good shot. A good shot. I enjoyed that. That's it. Okay, cool. Good, 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 good. Well, last half hour coming up. Sanctay against Foss Road. Foss Road desperately trying to find a way back into this. The manager wouldn't be looking forward to dropping points here. I won't do anything, but at least I tried. Indeed, indeed, sometimes it doesn't do anything. But you did try. You did try indeed, and sadly, it wasn't to be. Sanctay holds on. Don't think they created a lot more, but that's just how it is. And sixes and sevens again, as mentioned, defensive players did well, but they just couldn't get through. Just couldn't get through to the attacking players, and when they did get through, they weren't able to find the back of the net. A couple of shots on target, but unfortunately for them, Oliver Kahn had a very good game back as well. Montella with an assist and Penza with a goal. I think the manager will be very happy to see those kind of performances from some of his uh, his big names up front. 3 9s. Good, good, good. Mike Duff as well on a 9. Congratulations, Duggan. Commiserations to Carl and Alex. Haggis versus Northern Burn is our next game. It's got to be as is for Ian, hasn't it? They still not playing. The last game was a 2-0 win against Sanctay, so uh, why change anything? Lee Yong-pyo doing everything he can to keep that starting role in case that the Day 1 changes his mind one day. Let's go back to the lineup here. There's Emerton is still starting. I believe 7-17. I was told he gets plenty of assists. Not true so far. Not true so far. But Mr. Edwards knows what he's doing. He's second in the league. They are away to Haggis though, a bit of a tricky one. We'll see how they fare tonight. A couple of changes for Haggis due to the goalkeeper being injured. Cannavaro's injured, and I think it's this guy Smooch coming in here on the DMC role and Pelizzoli in goal. Those are the changes for Haggis and Tomadera for some reason. Not entirely sure, but he's there. He's there. Right, we kick this one off. Walter Samuel is going to be the captain for Haggis. And he continues his. I'm not sure if he rotated the wingers for this one, but does have Monterubio on the bench. Still pinning his hopes on those guys doing something. Carlos Jack's in there as well. If I'm not 100% mistaken, or he was in there. But anyway, it doesn't really help them because it's Kuhl who opens the scoring for Northern Burn as they continue to impress. Let's see if we can get through to half time. Indeed, we can, and it's still 1-0 to Northern Burn. It has been Haggis that's been slightly the more dominant side, though. Meanwhile, Northern Burn has been the more effective side, as you would expect. Riquelme with the assist, really doing well in that role. I didn't expect that at all. Brett Emerson down on a 6, and Patrick Vieira on a 6 as well. Let's just check the fitness. There are no concerns for those players, and for Haggis, no fitness concern either, and that's your ratings. Ian goes as is. I believe that Ian had some kind of instruction in case of, let's see, if I can't make the live chat, throw on Van Nistelrooy if Madeira is on a 6 at 60. Okay, well, he's on a 7, so he stays on for now. And let's see if we can make it through till the 60 minutes. I think it's still Haggis who's had the most of the chances, but Nolan Burns still looking dangerous. Tomadero's on a 7, so he stays on. Nothing else for Haggis. Over at Burn, you've got Joe Cole on a yellow, Patrick Vieira on a 6, and Sagi on a 6, but Emerton on a 6. And condition-wise, you're doing well. I await your instructions. Or your confirmation of as is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say in the business. See if we can find. Oh, the goalkeeper was backpedaling. That was all I saw. And then I noticed that Riquelme had indeed scored, but it's Kluivert who pulls one back for Haggis with 14 minutes still to play. And we slow it down for the last 8 and see if anything interesting will happen. Haggis keep pushing on. Oh, Lee Yong-pyo pushes Kluivert. That went unpunished. Ika Casillas with a good save there, keeping Northern Burns' lead intact. But it is Haggis coming forward again. Ndiaye picks up a yellow card. Haggis gets a free kick. There's 3 minutes of added time to be played. Will there be any more chances? It doesn't look like it for Haggis. Emerson comes forward and didn't come to anything, but there was a foul earlier on. Northern gets the free kick, but it's well defended by Haggis. Last chance here, I believe, of the game. It's going to fall for Northern, and it's Inzaghi, and he seals the deal. No, he doesn't. Ruled out for offside. Riquelme strolling around, doing whatever he wants. But indeed, Northern secure the win. Haggis will be a little bit, I think Ian will be a little bit disappointed with that, considering that he has 7 shots, 6 on target. They couldn't find the back of the net more than once. It was Kluivert with the goal, assisted by Kalashak. Overall, solid performance. Pellizzoli ends up in a 6 as the worst player of the night for the home side. For the visitors, Ika Casillas on a 9. Everyone else is kind of doing okay. Leon Pure still the best of the outfielders, Harry Kuehl and Riquelme with the goals, Joe Cole and Riquelme with the assist. Indeed, it was. So, overall, solid performance for Northern against Haggis, and we can progress to what I believe should be the last game of the evening with Red Rose Stanley taking on Fulchester. We already saw the numbers from their game, from the last match, the one against Stackington. Still trying to get Ronaldo, Chigalco, and all of the big names firing. I think Joao Pinto is the only change, I believe, from last time out. We do have Neil Scally on 85. Is that right? Neil Scally on 85. Um, Mike, if you're sure, then that's cool. If not, then I'll happily sub him if before we start, if that's what you want. But I'll leave him on at 85, of course. Meanwhile, we can have a quick look at Fulchester. They had that dreadful game last time out with Dida. He's not orange, is he? No, I don't believe that he is. Um, where is he? Mr. Scally. Nope, he's not orange. He is just lacking match practice, apparently. After 4 games, I'm not sure how that works. But anyway, okay, he's a tough guy. So we run with that. That's fine. Meanwhile, over at Fulchester, Dida, unsurprisingly, is not playing after his relatively poor performance and his low morale. Sebastian Frey is there for Fulchester. We've still got Anelka up front. Oh, we've got Anelka up front. We've got the Nielsen out on the wing. He's on 90%, but his manager's keeping faith with him, and we'll see if Colchester can reverse their fortunes from that 3-2 defeat at Los Santos, where they had such a poor start to the game. We kick this one off. A Stanley take on Fulchester. A couple of good passages of play from both sides. Not sure if it really resulted in anything noteworthy. We had 40 minutes already, coming up to halftime. Um, Action packed right at the last minute? No. Looks like he. Oh, indeed. And I was proven wrong. I said nothing was going to happen. But Joao Pinto scores the only goal of the first half with the only shot on target in the first half. Not a huge amount of excitement here for Stanley, but I'm sure the manager will be fairly satisfied going into the break with a bunch of 7s and 8s, presumably rewarded for their defensive performances. Dan says play on. Semak was the guy with the assist and Pinto with the goal. And where is Scally? He's only dropped 3, so indeed he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. Dan says play on. It has been relatively okay. Probably just a matter of time and a little bit of luck to find that way through and get Nicholas Anelka to actually hit the target, which would benefit everyone, including himself, a lot as well. Apart from that, he's not been involved much. Mike, if you want to make any changes at this point, then please let me know. Dan has confirmed play on. Mike says as is as well. We run till 60 and see if anything happens. And let's have a quick look and see if I can stop it right on time. Plenty of chances for Fulchester here in the second half, or at least what looks like chances, but no goals as of yet. Let's have a look. Indeed, a couple more shots, at least one of them on target. Yeah, kind of slow still. and 7's 8. Sigalco's down on a 6. Condition wise, Scally's 79, so he's hanging in there. He's a tough guy. But those are your ratings, and your options on the bench are, of course, Mido, Peter Sand, Phil Neville. I'm not sure which one of those has got the most goals in him, but they are there if you want to make use of any of them. Meanwhile, Fulchester, it's been a mixed bag, a bunch of 8s. Lucio's on a 6, Vogel's on a 6, and Elka's on a 6. Emre, Litas, and Dida, of course, Emre, Litas, and Fernando Torres are your options on the bench if you're looking for someone to change things around. Fitness wise, everyone's doing okay. Didilson on 75, but he'll probably live. Famous last words. Glenn says carry on, so we will do just that. Meanwhile, over at the Stanley end, pull Tigalco for Mido. Move Mido to AMC, arrows on both. Is he left? He is left. So we do that, and arrows on both. Whoopla. Indeed, indeed. Good. 27 minutes left for someone to find a goal. Fulchester has had or someone to find the next goal rather. Fulchester has have had chances, but not taken them. Stanley, fewer chances, but Hua Pinto converted the one they had. And it looks as if it's Stanley who kind of took the initiative a little bit, but it's back to Fulchester. And looks like a bit of a midfield battle here to me, to be completely honest. We'll slow it down just to see if we can get a little bit of more of a grasp on what's actually going to happen here. That is the Nielsen dribbling forward. Mido was involved. Beckham with a shot. Vestavol saves it. Down the other end, it's Stanley Pinto involved again. It's been a bit of a surprise to me that he's been so involved in doing so well, but the manager's found a good role for him in the team, good instructions, and it's obviously working well. Daniel Anderson unable to control the ball, but Stanley unable to capitalize. We move into added time, or just about anyway, and it's still Stanley. Yellow card picked up by Clarence Seedorf there. Will there be a last chance for either side here? There's a throw in, Mido into the box from a tight angle. Ball flies over the bar. Last chance for sure this time. Lucha lobs the ball forward. There's an Elka. Oh, Seedorf with the last chance, but it wasn't to be. Stanley holds on despite a bit of an onslaught in the second half from Colchester. Story of the last couple of games for Colchester there. They've had the chances. They've had to try to get away back into it. Luck just not on their side. 7s and 8s and a 6 for Captain Vogel there in midfield. Meanwhile, over at Stanley, it's Candela on a 9, Nicky Butt on a 9, Scally survived. 9s for Semak, 9 for Pinto. Overall, very strong performance from the home side there. And that, I believe, concludes the evening's action. Away wins for East Coast Burn, Badgers, Exiles, home win for Sancte Stanley and the Vikings leave the table looking something like this, with Northern Burn clear at the top, 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat, 16 points. Dudley Hill just behind on 14, along with East Coast. Then we have Badgers, Foss Road, and Haggis making up the rest of the playoff teams, and below that we have Exiles now on 9 with Stanley Sloths on 8. We have Fulchester on 7, Los Santos on 6, Vikings now on 5, Sanctuary on 5 as well, and Stackington down to the bottom with only 4 points from their 4 draws, and that's how it stands at the moment. Stats will be shared as soon as they are available, so probably at some point tomorrow. The fixtures, which are TBC in terms of the date, our Badgers taking on Stanley. We have Dudley Hill taking on the Sloths. Another big. Is it actually all of them? No, it's actually only the top 5. The top 5 being at home, Packers being the highest placed team that's on the road. Difficult week for the teams at the bottom of the table, or in the bottom half of the table anyway, coming up. And with that, I will conclude this evening's action. Thank you very much for joining, for participating, and for listening. And I'll speak to all again soon. Good night.